Did you have sex together?
Yeah.
This little dweeb picking up dollar bills is Loren Allen. He's one of the biggest scumbags in 90 Day Fiancé history, and in this video, I'm going to be explaining why. When we first see Loren Allen in episode 1, he's picking up money at a drag show. He works there in order to get close to trans women and ladyboys because that's his fetish.
I would love to have a trans wife and to live my life happily, but it's been really hard for me to find my significant other.
What confused me right away is, one, I thought Loren was a girl's name, and two, how out of place does Loren look at this drag show dressing the way he does? This dude looks like an extra in the Book of Mormon, meanwhile everyone else is dressed up for the function. Another confusing thing about Loren is he claimed to be 33 years old, but I'm assuming he meant in reptilian years because this dude looks at least 45 on a good day. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I couldn't resist. This dude looks old even back then. He's got a really bulbous face, so maybe that's why. I don't know. I feel like Detective Pikachu right now trying to figure this out.
I love this job. It's a great job. Because at the end of the day, the thing that makes me feel best about myself is when I make someone else happy.
Loren tells the audience during his introduction that he grew up in rural Washington, and when he was a kid, the other kids said he was gay and weird. He obviously said this to get sympathy from the audience. Given the way he acts, I would have assumed that kids would say meaner things, especially if he's actually around my age, because back in the day, we grew up with Xbox Live, you know, in between rounds of Search and Destroy. All kinds of insults would be flying back and forth, and I wouldn't really be taking offense if someone called me straight and weird. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gay and weird and someone calls you gay and weird, is it really a diss?
By the age of about 7 or 8, I realized that trans woman is what I wanted out of life.
Could you imagine being a kid and being in a class with this freak? At 7 or 8, all the other kids are like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a firefighter when I grow up. And he's like, I want trans women for my life. And we all just look over and think, first of all, what is that? Because when I was a kid, I didn't know what that was. I was playing with my dinosaur action figures or my Dragon Ball Z action figures in my room. I was making my mom watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with me again and again.
I don't consider myself gay at all. I identify as gynosexual. It means that I find femininity attractive, not necessarily gender.
Well, the definition of gay is sexually or romantically attracted to people of one's own sex, used especially of a man. So if you're attracted to a man that's more feminine, that's still gay. It doesn't make you straight. And I'm a big believer in words have no power over you unless you give them power. So I think it's stranger for him to bring this up in order to get sympathy from the audience. Loren has a very specific preference when it comes to sexual partners. He tells the audience, my preference is to date a trans woman with or without a penis, preferably a penis, because a penis is more fun to play with. Okay, right away, that was a lot. To be clear, what bothers the majority of fans isn't Loren's sexual preference, it's how he approaches relationships and treats other people. The sex binary refers to biological reality that there are only two sexes, male and female, and that these categories refer to individuals whose primary sex organs are organized around the production of either sperm, male, or ova, female.
As long as it's female. Right? It's a female penis, not a male penis.
The way he's hyper-focusing on this and emphasizing it raises an abundance of red flags. If there's any trans or ladyboy socks, let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. But according to Google, I believe Loren falls into the category of chaser. By the definition, a chaser is someone who chases after something. In this case, people who happen to be trans, and there we go, that's a chaser, someone who's specifically attracted to or seeks out trans people. The motives behind that may vary. I've often seen explanations of only if they seek you out for sex. Like, no, there are chasers who seek us for a relationship, who would introduce us to their friends and family and even marry us. They are chasers nonetheless. And why is that? Because they are mainly attracted to our transness, and our personality and who we are is secondary at best. As we're all aware, there's a difference between having a preference and a fetish. Remember when we reviewed Tammy's ex-boyfriend that was a feeder?
I met Tammy online. It was a BBW group. A BBW is Big Beautiful Women. And we started chatting from that.
Tammy was replaceable with any other morbidly obese girl. And that's the issue I have with these kind of dudes. It's almost like they don't even see you as a person.
The female penis normally and smells a little bit different because of usually hormones or the way that they take care of it. And so the energy of it is different.
This is the first time I'm hearing about the man's energy of the peen being different if they're taking hormones or it smells different, all that.
How many genders are there? I don't know. I just got here.
We see Loren walk into a sex shop with a biological woman who happens to be his ex-girlfriend. I guess they kept in contact, remained friends after the relationship failed. She told the audience that the relationship failed because he wants someone with boobs and a penis. So Loren's in the sex shop with his ex-girlfriend buying corsets for somebody. I'm assuming Faith, but who knows because this guy sleeps around.
I believe you can have sex with your partner and have love and passion and make it very personal. And then you also can go out and have sex with somebody else simply for the fact that it's something different and something new. Maybe they know something you don't know. They can teach you something.
This is sexual deviant scum. After Loren claimed that he wanted a trans woman at age 7, he told the audience that he dated biological women after because his family didn't approve of him dating trans women. I highly doubt this family would approve of him not accepting responsibility for his own life decisions, because something Loren left out of his little TV life summary is that he owes his ex-wife thousands of dollars in child support. Anyways, Loren admits he downloaded 2 Filipino dating apps to connect with Faith, which is a huge red flag because that seems excessive. Instead of changing your location on one of the dating apps to actually download apps specifically for that country or region, it strikes me as odd. He explains that Faith is a 30-year-old ladyboy that is close to her family and very hardworking. Loren claims that he always makes Faith laugh, and within one day they started saying "I love you," which doesn't surprise me because this dude obviously doesn't know what that word means. Loren says that he spent his entire savings to go to the Philippines and live with Faith.
Then your total after tax is going to be $60.58.
You still got this?
I got you.
Okay.
Why are you the way that you are?
This dork doesn't have $60 yet is gonna full send it to the Philippines to mooch off a girl he met on a local dating app. You can't make it up. I don't know where they find these people on the show. If you're gonna hit a life reset, make sure you have enough money first, because this right here unlocks new levels of stress. Loren also reveals that Faith isn't aware he is broke, which is messed up to keep a secret like that from your partner. So within a couple minutes of meeting Loren, it's very easy to gather that he's all about himself. Me, talking about how his financial burden will be less. It's obvious he is using Faith because her life is more stable than his. The next thing he says pisses me off. I haven't had a conversation with her about this yet. I don't know how Faith is going to react, especially if she wants to come to America and I can't afford to support her here. But I'm hoping that she loves me enough to see past that. When he says this, I can't even believe it because Faith is unaware that he has been staying at hookups houses and hooking up with other people, period. So how hurtful is that? She's unaware that this guy's a broke bum trying to leech off of her, and it's incredibly sad because he's been unfaithful this entire time to Faith. Currently, it's unclear whose house Loren is staying at, but I'm sure they're not happy about the fact that Loren cooked shrimp soup in their bathroom. Loren tells the audience that he's trying to get used to the humidity in the Philippines, which is why he's working out and cooking Filipino shrimp soup in the bathroom. I can't even fathom how much stank is coming off this bathroom air. I mean, shrimp mixed with sweat, ew. This is how Loren shows gratitude to his friends that were kind enough to let him stay at their place for free. So sad. I chuckled when he took a bite of the shrimp though, because you can tell that it didn't taste good given his facial reaction. Remember when we were kids and we used to fight invisible ninjas in our room? That's what this reminds me of, except we actually know how to throw a punch, unlike this. Anyways, after Loren's shrimp sauna, he meets up with a couple friends to try on costumes for the drag queen show. While this dweeb is trying on costumes, he FaceTimes Faith.
Faith has never really had a boyfriend before, so I know these video calls are really important to her, even if it's just a quick hello. Good morning, Faith.
Hi, good morning, my love.
Yeah, how are you?
Faith compliments the costumes, and Loren immediately asks Faith if they're going to be sleeping in the same hotel room, even though it was communicated in advance that wouldn't be happening.
Are we still sleeping in separate rooms when I get there at the hotel?
Oh, Socks, I hated that little kissy face he did. Also, wildly inappropriate to bring this up in front of your friends. It's none of their business. Faith once again reminds Loren that she wants to take time to get to know each other before they sleep in the same room, which is understandable because they haven't even met in real life yet.
Are you gonna sneak into my room?
I do think so because, we're getting to know each other for the first time.
Justice for Faith 2024. Instead of recognizing that Faith is trying to set a healthy boundary, Loren doubles down. Wow, I flew all the way to the Philippines to sleep alone. Shut up, dude. Hopefully Faith never lets Loren smash, because even though he is trying to pass this off as a joke, it's obvious that he's trying to guilt trip her into having sex with him. I'm happy Faith wants to take things slow. My only criticism is also slow down when it comes to saying I love you to another person, and really try to understand someone's character before you say those words, because it means something. Loren then introduces Faith to his friends, which is strange that she hasn't met his friends already if they have actually been dating and talking for 4 months. One of Loren's friends then says something beyond ridiculous to Faith.
You know, I have to tell you something. When he first was looking on the Filipino dating app, he had so many different girls, but he chose you.
Wow, the friend saying this to Faith makes her super uncomfortable. It's very manipulative to make someone feel like they are lucky to be with you, especially when you're a cancer in their life and have nothing to offer. Loren ends the call and tells his friends that Faith is a jealous person, which is rich to hear from the dude that's a serial cheater.
So I don't think Faith really could hear what you guys were saying, but I don't know, sometimes she gets jealous when you talk about other girls.
That's exactly what narcissistic people do, is they try to make it seem like they have all these options when they actually don't, in order to make you feel like you're lucky to be with them. And it's just such a manipulative tactic, in my opinion.
Me and Faith aren't necessarily exclusive right now. I don't think she's seeing anybody else, but I am. I've been hinting at me sleeping with other people. Like, I let her know that I stay over other people's houses, but I'm not sure that she understands.
Loren's trying to be super technical here because he can't take accountability. He never communicated to Faith that he wants an open relationship. If he did, then she wouldn't have dated him in the first place. Loren is fully aware that he is wrong, but still smiles and laughs, trying to pass this betrayal off as miscommunication, when he's fully aware of how this information would make Faith feel. That's why he omits telling her the truth. You know what I mean? He wants to just ride this out until he tests her on camera, which is what has been happening.
I can't believe what Loren told me. He having, sex with others and STD.
Loren talks about his infidelity in a juvenile way, like it's some sort of game, which is just sickening. This isn't a game. This is Faith's life, and he's 100% preying on her.
But either way, it's just for fun versus your partner who is forever and for love.
If her way is monogamy, are you going to be okay with that?
I mean, I'm gonna have to accept it or try and push her into not.
How dare he even utter those words? This diseased rat bastard wants to push Faith into a polygamous relationship when she isn't okay with that. Here's the problem: when you live life as a horny dog chasing instant gratification, you end up like Loren, broke and alone. In the next scene, Loren's packing with his friend before they head to the airport. Loren says to the audience, "In just a few hours, I'll be on the plane to the Philippines to meet Faith, my perfect lady boy." This is not a term of endearment for Faith. He is objectifying her. You know what this reminds me of, Socks? It's not the same thing, but that scene from Star Wars when Padme calls Anakin a slave and he's like, "I'm a person and my name's Anakin." The friend then picks up a piece of paper and it's the girlfriend test that Loren made for Faith because he derives pleasure from testing her on camera. So Loren's friend then drives him to the airport, and before he boards his flight to cause Faith psychological damage when he arrives in the Philippines, he gives us a speech about how he's finally gonna marry the trans woman of his dreams. The way he talks about Faith is similar to the way that Gollum talks about the One Ring. It's all about possession. Loren is asking his fans for a sum of $10,000 USD. Loren Allen, a cast member of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Day Season 7, has quickly earned the title of most despicable cast member in the show's history. Just 5 episodes into the new season, Loren's actions towards his Filipina partner Faith have left viewers outraged. Loren's troubled past includes being a deadbeat dad to 2 children, homeless and broke. He is using Faith as means to extend his stay in the Philippines, attempting to escape his old life. Loren's deceit runs deep. He hid from Faith that he cheated on her during their long-distance relationship and even contracted an STD. Moreover, he expects Faith to be okay with him seeing other people after they get married, as he does not believe in monogamy. These revelations have made Loren one of the most hated figures amongst the show's viewers. His recent online activities have only fueled the fire. Loren launched a GoFundMe campaign hoping to raise $10,000 to open an LGBT safe haven in the Philippines. On the campaign page, Loren claimed that he wanted to start an LGBT community center to provide housing, education, and connections to those in need. However, fans who have seen many shady GoFundMe campaigns from other 90 Day Fiancé cast members are skeptical. They believe half of these campaigns are scams and that the donation will not be used as promised. 100% this bum is going to try and use the money for himself. If you're a 90 Day Fiancé cast member and you not only get paid from going on the show, but you also come up with an entire social media following as a result from being on the show in the first place, you can make money yourself. Whether that's starting a YouTube channel, whether that is doing lives on TikTok, Instagram, setting up a Patreon to make custom videos for fans, Cameo. There's so many different avenues to make money, and 100% if a cast member starts to GoFundMe, it's a scam. Hello, I'm Loren Allen, and I'm starting an LGBT community center in the Philippines looking for help. offering housing, education, and connection to those who seek help. Nothing is more important to me than helping others, but I have an evil ex-wife and fight just to make rent, but plan on finding a way to devote my life to charity. Wow, how crummy is that? I can't believe he publicly claimed his ex-wife is evil because she wants the child support money that he owes her. There's nothing evil about asking a man to pay what is owed after they abandon you and the child they irresponsibly created with you. So funny enough, I saw this video of Loren's alleged ex. Does this sound like an evil woman to you?
So like I said before, we're broke right now. And my kid wanted a Fortnite cake because he's 6 today. And I thought it wouldn't be that bad. I'm pretty creative. I could probably figure something out. I'm not a cake decorator. I don't know what to do with the sides.
I don't know about you gamers, but I stopped playing Fortnite around season 6. That cake doesn't look bad, so props to her for making her kid that. That is effort right there. This mother is financially struggling, yet she did start a GoFundMe in an attempt to scam the audience of this show, because unlike Loren, she has pride.
It's not the same. Am I the first person you know who get gonorrhea?
I don't have friends like that.
The article continues, it's concerning that Loren's campaign, which aims to start a nonprofit and provide housing, education, and other services, has not received any donations. The proposed budget of $10,000 is clearly insufficient for such a venture, even in a country with lower cost of living like the Philippines. This financial situation raises serious questions about the campaign's viability and the potential harm to the cause. Fans are beginning to suspect that Loren is leveraging his reality TV fame to deceive people into giving him money. Loren's behavior has not only damaged his reputation, but also put Faith in a difficult position. She deserves better than being used and manipulated by someone trying to escape his responsibilities and past mistakes. Loren's actions have shown him to be a manipulative and deceitful individual who is more interested in his own gain than the well-being of others around him. I couldn't agree more, and I like how this article is written. I believe that everyone deserves someone that's willing to do the bare minimum in a relationship, and Loren is not willing to do the bare minimum. Episode 2 opens up with Loren landing in the Philippines and telling the audience that he's never flown anywhere, which is good news because he's a terrible advertisement for my city.
It smells just terrible. That's why I kept this. I'm like, this is great for cleaning humans.
Get a load of this bum. He thinks he's on extreme cheapskates using a disinfectant wipe from the flight to clean his armpits. Loren then shows us a ring for Faith before once again saying he has dreamed of marrying a ladyboy like Faith his entire life.
I've been dreaming of a relationship with a ladyboy like Faith for my whole life, so I'm going all in on this.
Cutscene to 24 hours earlier, we see Faith working at the Bay Area Suites in Manila. Faith is in charge of the housekeeping department in the hotel. Her job is checking all the rooms, maintenance, event coordinator, etc. On her off days, she loves to work as a makeup artist, magician, and performer. Faith tells the audience she loves working at the hotel because she's able to live there for free, which is an awesome perk.
I have a stable job.
Faith informs the audience that she sends extra money she would have put towards rent to her family instead because they are poor, and she's actually a nice, responsible person, unlike her boyfriend. Faith explains that as a kid she was a boy named Rodney, but always felt like she was a girl on the inside. Because the laws are very strict in the Philippines, you can't change your gender, but Faith tells the audience there are hella pretty ladyboys in the Philippines. She felt inspired to join a beauty pageant at the age of 15 and won Miss Shining Hair.
The city has a prestigious trans beauty pageant, so...
Faith tells the audience that she isn't taking hormones because they're mad expensive and she doesn't plan to cut off her friend. The way she worded it was funny. She called it a friend instead of a peen.
I want to live my life as a ladyboy.
Faith informs the audience that it's hard to date in the Philippines as a ladyboy, which is why she has been single for her entire life.
I've got a bot chatting me. It's pretty funny. I get a lot of those where they just randomly text you and they just think like, oh, this is the wrong person. Well, now that we're friends, and you're like, okay. But I get those almost every day.
Well, Loren, you got a whopping 6 likes on this post, so I don't think the bot chatting service you signed up for is doing its job.
It is I, the evildoer of Before the 90-Day Fiancé, looking for more evildoers.
So present day on IG, Loren's going for this villain theme, but I noticed he didn't plaster his bulbous face on General Zod because he doesn't know one thing about making a sacrifice for his people. I am curious though if he justifies treating Faith the way he does because she is a ladyboy. You picking up what I'm putting down? Because he loves ladyboys so much that he can't even be loyal to one.
This is my first boyfriend, actually.
Faith then introduces Loren, and the first picture he used was a mirror selfie with a Sony Bloggy on some throwback shit. We see some more revolting photos of Loren, especially this one where we see his tits. Like, TLC, we didn't ask to see that.
How about that side boob? That turn you on?
Faith's friends give her some lipstick and they talk about Loren's visit. He will be staying a month at the same hotel Faith works at, but not in her same room. Faith's friends then ask her a personal question about Loren's penis size, and Faith explains that's private information just for her, and it's really respectful of her to answer this question like that. I felt like it was an inappropriate question in the first place. I highly doubt Loren would be as considerate. Hopefully Faith hasn't sent him any nudes, because you can't trust these hoes these days, especially a hoe like Loren. Faith says that Loren and her have sent sexy pictures to each other, and she is open to having sex with him on this trip, but first Faith wants to make sure that they love each other. She assumes Loren is earning good money because he's working all the time in the United States. Faith is unaware what his primary source of income is, but he has a bunch of side hustles, so once again assumes that he has good money, but is concerned that she's still unaware of what his primary source of income is.
Philippines is a very poor country, and US, it's a lot of opportunities, so you can earn more money.
Faith grew up poor and has been working hard for years, not just for herself, but her family as well. She wouldn't have entered this relationship with an American guy if eventually moving to the United States wasn't in her plan, or at least she didn't already think about that before. The way that Faith talks about it, she seems very confident in the value she brings as a person in this relationship. And Loren is fully aware that him moving to the Philippines would inconvenience her life because he's not familiar with the language, the culture, pretty much anything.
If I move to the US, and I think that Loren and I will make a successful life together. Marami talagang lalaki na kapag nalaman na ladyboy, alam mo yun, pangkarat ka lang, ganyan. Di ba, kailangan ko ingatan ko din na kung sino talagang tatanggap sa akin.
This is a big yikes. From the way that Loren talks about Faith, especially the sexual jokes and advancements he makes, I don't think he's different from the scummy dudes that she's describing. Faith goes on to say she is nervous because this is her first relationship and she isn't sure that Loren loves her as much as she loves him. They haven't met in real life yet, so I'd argue Faith loves the idea of Loren, the white knight from America, coming there to rescue her from loneliness and to have this real relationship because she's never had a normal relationship in her life. And this lack of transparency has just resulted in her creating this fake image of him. You know what I mean?
In 20 minutes from his to her.
So Faith tells the audience this is the first time she's very excited to meet a man IRL. Unfortunately, her boyfriend Loren is not any other dude with good morals. Even Big Ed seems like a better dude than Loren, and he's a little ball of cringe, so that says a lot. After getting ready, Faith goes downstairs to the lobby, and her friends at the front desk hype her up, which was nice to see.
Slay! Go girl! Wish me luck! Bye! Bye!
Sometimes I forget how far our culture and words reach. I didn't realize that they say slay in the Philippines. That made me chuckle. Cutscene to Loren landing in the Philippines, talking about how he's going to see Faith even though he looks like a hobo. It's like, dog, you are a hobo. You don't just look like a hobo.
In a matter of minutes, I'm going to see her even though I look like a hobo.
Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
But Faith is right outside the airport using a blue towel to wipe her sweat because she's mad nervous. Loren tells the audience that he's here to finalize a long-term relationship that will lead him to marriage with Faith. And when he says this, I'm just thinking to myself, dude, you guys haven't even been dating for 6 months. It's not a long-term relationship. So let's just add that to the lie count for this guy. Loren adds that if he wasn't serious about Faith, he wouldn't throw away his entire life. To correct him, it has nothing to do with him throwing away his entire life, because what is he throwing away exactly? He has nothing to lose. His life in Las Vegas sucks.
Got my backpack, passport looks good.
So Loren walks out the airport, says, oh yeah, like he's the Kool-Aid guy, walks over to Faith, they embrace, and it's actually mad awkward. I wasn't expecting that. Usually when the couple see each other for the first time, it's a cute moment, but for Faith and Loren, it just feels off to me. You know what Loren's life theme is, especially because of everything that's been coming out recently? It's that song, Why You Coming Home, 5 in the morning. Anyways, Loren and Faith hug it out. Faith tells the audience she feels proud that Loren doesn't feel embarrassed to be seen with her in public, which is sad that the bar is set that low. So Faith then does some magic for Loren and hands him a rose, which is sweet. Also shows off her entertainment skills. Loren says something really corny like, Faith, you're magic, when she's doing magic. He says a lot of corny lines. Even when he first landed in the airport, he said something on the lines of, I have faith that Faith will be there and I will meet Faith. Episode 3 opens up with Faith and Loren catching a taxi from the airport. Faith points out the Bay Area of Manila and Loren immediately brings up he wants to walk on the beach with her. I'm sure he wants to see Faith in a bikini and that's why he brought that up. Then Loren talks about how every single day he wants to go on dates with Faith, and Faith makes this face because he's coming across very pushy. We already know that Loren love bombed Faith right away in this relationship, and because he's only in the Philippines for a month, he wants to maximize their time together. His desire for Faith's undivided attention doesn't come from an innocent place though, and that's the problem I have with this. He wants to monopolize her time so that she will be more likely to make impulsive decisions. For example, allowing him to live with her in the Philippines and mooch off of her. He is running away from his responsibilities in the United States and wants to take advantage of this international love connection. Something that Loren does I find super annoying is he speaks to Faith in broken English. Loren then says to the audience, Faith seems a little shy physically, but I'm hoping she will warm up to me and everything will be great. Not sure what he was expecting in terms of physical touch, but Faith communicated in advance that she wants to take things slow. So once again, he's got sex on his mind and it makes him come across as a sex tourist. The cab parts, Faith walks her dorky boyfriend into the hotel she works and lives at. And I don't know about you guys, but I am thrilled that he's paying for a month at the hotel because at least she clipped him for a month at her hotel that she works at. You know what I mean? It looks good for her to bring an American customer that is paying for a month at the hotel. So hopefully she didn't offer him a discount because I want this crumb to be paying full price.
The beginning of our future.
The girls at the front are hyped to meet Faith's boyfriend for the first time. She proudly says that he is from America. Then Faith shows Loren to his room at the hotel.
This is your room.
Okay. After I take a shower, we can get looking sharp. We can go out and do whatever we want to do tonight, right?
Okay.
So 2 hours later, they go out for dinner, and I'm insanely jealous because the food looks really good. What's on the menu is bone marrow and noodle soup. This good food is wasted on an unseasoned rat like Loren. It would be better if we were eating this instead, Socks.
Am I the first person you were chatting with online you thought was going to show up and be your boyfriend?
Yeah, it's the first time. Lots of foreigners say that I love you, then, you know, they're not knowing that I'm a trans.
Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this. In the dating apps, if you're trans or a ladyboy, to avoid that happening, can't you just put in your bio that you're trans or a ladyboy? I think that's probably the best to avoid any confusion, so not sure if Faith was doing that or not. Either way, obviously that wouldn't bother Loren because a ladyboy is exactly what he's been looking for.
Then after that, they block me.
They blocked you?
Yeah, they block it. Oh, you're a ladyboy. You look like a woman, but I don't like ladyboy.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
We can make an entire video on the way that this dude dresses. He's got me wanting to bring back fashion police just to rag on his outfits. At this moment, Loren pulls out the girlfriend test he made for Faith and she thinks it's mad weird immediately. Majority of the broad questions he asks on the test have nothing to do with being in a relationship in the first place, which makes the situation even more confusing for Faith. For example, asking a question like if snakes can be found on every continent, obviously the answer is no because of Antarctica, but why even ask a question like that in the first place when you're on a date with a dream girl of yours, especially when it's the first date?
I made you a special test. It's the Faith test. It's only 40 questions.
What is that?
It's a written test.
So Loren then says to the audience that he understands wanting to take things slow, but they are on a tight timeline. The problem with him saying this is Faith is unaware of his intentions to mooch off her in the Philippines after cheating on her this entire time. Loren adds that he wants to figure out if him and Faith are sexually compatible or not.
You have 20 days.
Yeah. Yeah, 20 days, not enough, but let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I saw a post from Loren on Facebook about his trip to the Philippines to meet Faith for the first time after they filmed, and from this post it's obvious that he didn't treat her or their relationship seriously. Check this out, Socks. So Loren posted, ending my trip to the Philippines on my way from Manila to Korea, Minneapolis, then Vegas. Had fun but ready to find a job and get my life back on track. Miss you blank and blank and everyone else who got to meet me on my adventures. So right away my biggest problem with what he he said here was, had fun but ready to find a job and get my life back on track. You should have had your life on track before you wasted this person's time, bro. Back to episode 3. After dinner, Loren hugs Faith goodnight and says he wants to know her better physically, mentally, and emotionally. He started with physically because obviously Loren thinks with his diseased penis. Loren then unathletically walks back to his room, and that is the end of episode 3. Episode 4 opens up with Loren complaining to the audience about how Faith still hasn't banged his brains out even though they've only known each other for one day in real life. We then learn that Loren only brought $46 to the Philippines.
How many dollars you want to exchange?
All of it? Like 45, 46?
Is this all you have for this trip into the Philippines?
What a pitiful bum this dude is. I can't imagine any of us full sending it to another country with a small amount of money like this in our wallets.
I mean, I have some more money, but it's like an appending charge.
Well, that's not really reassuring news given the fact that all of Loren's side hustles are minimum wage jobs. In Las Vegas, that's $12 per hour, so I highly doubt this payment he's going to receive will be a substantial amount of money.
Eventually, I have some money.
Okay. Let's go.
Props to Faith right now because I would be freaking out. She's being very respectful even though she found out her boyfriend only brought $46 to the Philippines. Loren tells the audience that he has no problem being open about his finances. He just hopes that she doesn't get turned off by it. And when he says this, it awakens this primal desire to slap him in his face because let's just add that to the lie count, man. I mean, if he was open and honest from the jump, she would have never entered this relationship with him in the first place. And Loren is fully aware of this, which is why he's been giving Faith bits and pieces of the truth in each episode, as opposed to coming clean about everything he's been lying about. Okay, so after he exchanges his $46, Faith tells the audience she isn't with Loren for his money, which is good because he doesn't have any money. She's hella confused though about his financial situation, especially because he communicated to Faith that he works all the time back in Las Vegas. Even though Loren bums off his friends and hookups, his burn rate is probably astronomical in Vegas.
Quiapo Market is the famous place here in Manila. It has lots of street food.
Is there anything you want at the market? Because I have some money.
Uh-oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. Splendid Daddy Loren's gonna take care of you, baby girl. Buy whatever you want. This would be like us bringing our girl to a Dollar Tree and trying to flex. It's just such crumb behavior.
Yeah, let's see. Because we need to budget your money.
Whatever you want.
Oh man, this hurts my brain. Faith is so wasted on Loren. She's actually trying to help him manage his money and he's just laughing off her concerns. He's so unserious about his financial struggles, and I get that this is Faith's first relationship, but right now fire alarm should be going off in her brain because this dude is covered in red flags. Faith and Loren then arrive at the market and Loren all of a sudden wants to pretend like he's a big baller in front of Faith.
It's good, right? Like in America, things are like 3 to 4 times the price.
Yeah.
And I can't help but laugh because this crumb starts throwing bills like he's space cowboy Bezos, buying Faith a dress for a couple bucks and talking about it like, yeah, baby, you get whatever you want. I got you. The way he asked if she wanted a dress also pissed me off because he said, you want dress? Faith's English is incredible. There's zero reason for him to be talking to her like Tarzan when he was first learning how to speak English. Loren's wearing his nefarious smirk, telling the audience he plans on spending money all day, which is stressing Faith out because she actually cares about him. I don't know why, but she does.
It's sweaty.
That's okay.
You feel it?
I don't mind your sweat. Doesn't bother me.
Forget about the sweat bothering him. Loren's the type of dude that would drink her sweat like it was a glass of Prosecco and tell us that that's been his dream since he was 9 years old. Loren then buys Faith some towels to wipe her sweat for just over $2, and the vendor tells Faith he's a keeper, if only he knew. Faith then tells the audience that she's really thankful Loren is generous with her. However, she's very concerned about Loren's impulsive spending. Fast forward to later in the episode, Loren and Faith are getting ready to have dinner with Mama Ding, who is one of Faith's co-workers and closest friends.
Mama Ding time.
Yeah.
Mama Ding also lives in the hotel on the 6th floor, and she's somewhat like a second mother to Faith.
Try this. We call this chicken adobo.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, you try that. And the red rice. And this is our vegetable.
Thank you.
Eat rice.
No, I don't like eat rice.
Why?
Notice how we got Mama Ding slaving over a hot stove to cook up that fresh food, and Loren didn't even bother to say thank you. These meals are wasted on him. He should be eating out of the gutter like the trash he is. So after engaging in a bit of small talk, Mama Ding tells the audience that she supports Faith and understands it's her first relationship, but hopes that Faith holds off on letting her guard down until she has a firm grasp on Loren's character. I really respect the way that Mama Ding holds herself, and I'm happy that Faith has a mentor like her to rely on. Y'all already know it's so important to surround yourself with quality people, and for the most part, I think that Faith has a good support system, minus Loren.
Did you love her?
Of course. I tell you I love you.
Yeah.
Every day.
Really?
Yes, of course.
Oh, what a titty twister this is. I'm that Anakin meme screaming liar right now. What a scumbag. Anyways, Mama Ding asked Loren what his plans are for Faith.
That gets complicated,
It's
Right.
complicated.
right? So there's an idea where I don't just go home. I just stay here somehow.
Faith looks hella disappointed, and rightfully so, because this is the first time that she's hearing this news, and it had to be in front of Mama Ding. How inappropriate is that? Mama Ding, in my opinion, handles this like a complete G. She laughs and asks Loren why he wants to move to the Philippines because it sounds ridiculous. It's more convenient for him. He's overwhelmed with how expensive life is in America, and just acknowledges that it's cheaper to live in the Philippines. Okay, bro, but you're not taking into account income. The wages are also way smaller in the Philippines than they are in the United States. Honestly, Socks, even though it's inappropriate that this conversation happened here in front of Mama Ding, I'm happy it did because it shows how selfish Loren is. Loren's talking about his own financial struggles, about how he's homeless in the United States, and making it about what is a more convenient transition for his life, not about what's a more convenient thing for Faith as well, right? Like, he's not even thinking about that.
Loren told me that it's very expensive to rent alone in the US, but I didn't think he was homeless.
And imagine that, a dude for months not bringing that up, not telling you that, waiting until one day after meeting you to tell you that he's homeless, broke, and wants to inconvenience your life by living with you in your country. Faith never consented to any of that. Faith has communicated to Loren multiple times that she wants to take things slow, and this is the opposite of taking things slow. And Loren couldn't care less about how that makes her feel. His lack of awareness and empathy just seems so psychotic to me, especially how he delivers really disappointing news with a smile on his face.
You get an online job. I just work from home because I could just do a computer job in America. I'd make American money in the Philippines. So I'd be making like 16, 17 American dollars an hour, which would be enough to like pay rent here.
Loren then says, I have IT training and I can take phone calls, but he doesn't go into detail about what IT training he has, so I'm calling BS right away. Also, he falls into the category of socially unacceptable NPC. Not to mention, I highly doubt a company would hire an incompetent fool like Loren and pay him more than minimum wage. I wish we could see his resume. That would be a good laugh for all of us. And if he could work an IT job, why wasn't he doing so in the United States?
You know, accept me for who I am as a trans man.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mind to have not enough money. It's okay. Then I found you.
So despite finding out that Loren is a broke, homeless liar, Faith chooses to stick by him still because she feels like Loren accepts her for being a ladyboy. It's sad Faith thinks this because Loren doesn't even treat her like a fellow human being. I understand wanting to feel loved and accepted for who you are, but everything Loren says and does is for his own benefit, not Faith's.
I'm gonna have to hit the ground running really hard. And whatever I do is gonna have to be for Faith because we have to be happy.
What happens next, Socks, is so disturbing. The ending of episode 4, we see the weakling getting dressed and telling the audience that he has gonorrhea from a girl he got a blowjob from in Vegas before he made it out there to the Philippines to see his girlfriend Faith for the first time.
About a week ago, I was out partying with one of my friends. You know, she spends the night, it's great. And then in the middle of the night, she went me. And I got a text from her this morning. Turns out she has gonorrhea of the throat, which means I most likely have gonorrhea of the penis.
I'm sure he casually told Faith he spent the night at a friend's house that happened to be a girl. TLC zooms in on his diseased peen after Loren tells the audience this, and I'm not sure why. Loren admits there's discharge coming out of his penis, which is so gross.
I'm really nervous to tell Faith about this. I don't know if she fully understands that I haven't been monogamous.
No, Faith is unaware because you never told her that, bro. How is she supposed to know that if you never tell her that you're cheating on her with other people? Of course, when you were telling Faith that you were sleeping over at friends' houses, she didn't assume that you were sleeping with the friends. Like I already said, Loren has been cheating on Faith this entire time and finally plans on telling her about that along with his new STD. Loren goes on to say that he's always planned on talking with Faith about having an open relationship once he got to the Philippines. I hate the way he framed that and how he refuses to be honest about the treacherous way he moves in relationships. He wanted to wait until Faith was stuck with him to embarrass her on camera for the world to see, which is so evil in my opinion. Loren goes on to say he wants his Philippine dream and he's trying to make it come true, but I'm not surprised because he says selfish things like this all the time. He has zero remorse and refuses to even acknowledge how comfortable he is hurting other people. Loren's top priority is living his best life in the Philippines, even if he has to ruin Faith's life to make that happen.